All right, just finishing up this review question. Sorry, I got cut off in the last video here, but anyways, this is what it looks like, even though this is drawn terribly for some reason. Not sure why that's all messed up, but anyways, we have 50% from 12 or greater, and then this is another 34%. So if we want to be 11.9 or greater, it'd be 34 plus 50%. There's an 84% chance that our Mountain Dew will ship here, which means there's a lot of leftover Mountain Dew not being shipped. Maybe they could ship that to me. I would still drink Mountain Dew even if it was not 11.9 ounces. Anyways, all right, so sampling methods. I think there's one or two questions about these. Just a quick review of these ones. Convenience is if you just like sit outside of a place, or if I serve with my students, something that's convenient or easy. Self-selected, and these are usually biased, right? Because it's not a great idea to just sit at one place because you don't represent the whole population. Self-selected is like if I posted a poll on Schoology and let people respond, or if you put an ad in the newspaper and let people respond. Also usually biased because only the people that care respond. Random sample is generally the best and unbiased, and it's just you take everybody that's possible, your entire population, and you do your sample by drawing out, say, 50 of those people or 100 from like a hat or a computer program or something like that. Systematic is like surveying every 10th person in a phone book or every 10th person in school. Generally can be pretty good. You just have to watch out. Sometimes you don't represent the whole population and it can be a problem. So take a read of this one and see if you can figure out which one of these is correct. Okay, so this would be self-selected because the people are choosing to call in when they see it, right? So yeah, so that'd be an example of, you could argue sort of convenience, and on the test, if you want to write a little sentence arguing your choice, you can, but I think the best answer here is self-selected. All right, one more probability one here. They're all equally likely. What is the probability that will land on a lowercase letter or a consonant? Oh, so if you got here, consonants are just non-vowels. If you're not an English person like me, consonants are non-vowels. So pause the video and give it a shot. Okay, this is an or again, and you can do the formula, but I'm just going to again do what makes sense. So a lowercase letter would mean all of these are in the favorable category. So that's whatever that is, 5. And then I need to get any other ones that are consonant. So non-vowel, so D, C, B, A, and E are vowels. So looks like I would have circled 8 out of 10. So your chances of getting a lowercase letter or a consonant non-vowel would be 80%. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching the review. Hopefully, we're all ready to take the test. Have a good day.